For this tutorial, we're going to look at how to use pressure plates. In particular, we're going to look at how we can trigger a door to open in the turret at the end here once we stand on this question mark. So we have a couple things that we need to assemble here, and we're just going to start from the pressure plate to the turret itself. So to start out, let's think about it. We need to have something that is pushed onto this question mark, which is a pressure plate. And to do that, we're going to go into the asset browser, and inside of our project assets, we're going to find a crate, which is at the very top. So adding that, we're going to go in and move it over a little bit. We're going to go into the inspector, and then down in physics, we're going to set it to be dynamic, and we're going to set the mass to be about 50 kg. The next thing that we need to do is we need to come over here and create a pressure plate. So in the add component, you can click and you can search for pressure plate like I had done there. Adding it into the scene is just like anything else, and we can scale it into position. And then in the inspector, we need to set a couple things here. So the mass threshold for this, we're going to set it to be 50 because that's what the box was. And then in the event sender, we can see that we need to send an event to something on the turret. So now we're going to start to look at the door. And in order to do that, we're going to exit out of that. We're going to click on the door, bring it into the scene, and then we're going to rotate it around so it fits into position. So we're still blocked by the door in the level, and this is what we want to progress past. In order to do that, we need to add rotation. So we're going to go into the inspector, and we're going to click the blue plus icon in the top right, and we're going to click rotating movement. Inside of the rotating movement, we can see that we have X, Y, and Z. In the top here, we can see that we're in a Z axis, so that works. And then in the velocity, we can set that to be 100. Now we need to make sure this is single, meaning that the door will open and not close on us. And then we need to make sure that the rotation limit, and this is in full rotation of whatever axis, so it can be 90, minus 90, depending on what you're doing, but we just want it to be 0 and 90. So now the next thing that we need to do is we need to add a receiver in the top right, just like the rotating movement. And we're going to click, add that, and in the received, we can say that we want to simulate, which is basically the simulation of it opening. So now that we have this connected, the last step that we need to do is go into the pressure plate, go down to the receiver, and find our door by clicking on none here. So I'm in door 4, and I should have everything set up. So if we hop into the level, and we grab a crate, push it over, you can see that the door is now opened. And that's because we met that requirement. So that's kind of a basic setup for pressure plates inside of a level, and you can see that we now have it completely open. So let's look forward to future tutorials where we can check out other things like lighting or maybe even more advanced mechanics, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on pressure plates directly inside of Sceneri.